Welcome to Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah. We're here with the one and only Dr. Berlinda Babila from Dallas, Texas, in the United States.
Hi. Excited to be here. I am in Ghana virtually. Could not have asked to be anywhere else with the legend, Mr. Jermaine himself. Bless you. I'm excited to be here today, and I look forward to spending an awesome time with you, sir.
Berlinda, let me tell you, you epitomize what this diaspora campaign is all about. What you're doing for your people in Cameroon is amazing. And first of all, I want to start off by saying thank you for showing compassion to your people back at home.
My pleasure. I think I would have loved to do more, but I believe that we get fulfillment by being a blessing to others. So I guess that's the motivating factor. That's what drives me every day to get up and think about others, because I feel you get this degree of inner peace, inner joy, inner accomplishment when you're able to not only think about yourself and your loved ones, but to extend that hand to others.
Right. So let's start with the situation. What started it all?
Well, started what? To be more precise.
Started your foundation, the Berlinda Babila Foundation, the BBF.
Okay. Well, BBF was from the age of 10. From when I was 10 years old, I just knew my ministry was compassion ministry. From the age of 10, I knew that I wanted to, I just hated sadness. I hated to see people depressed, sad, and you name it. So, and watching and looking at others, I always knew that when I grew up one day, I want to be a blessing to others. So it's been a child, it's been in me from the age of 10 to, and I ran into some friends of school, and they were like, and I never would remember some primary school mates, and they're like, in school you always brought your lunch and give it to us. I'm like, oh really? I don't even remember all of that. But I guess it's just God put in us what He wants us to become, and it's up to us to discover.
So then tell us about your childhood, because did it in Africa, in Cameroon, right?
I'm sorry? We broke up there for a minute. Yeah, I did. I grew up in Cameroon up to the age of 19. I moved to the States when I was 19. Yes. My young teenage age is Cameroon.
So tell us about your childhood, because if in Africa, if you are not really, I guess, privileged, the last thing you want to do is think about somebody else, because you're worried about what's coming to you. So what was your childhood like?
Well, I had a fair childhood. I would say we were of the medium class. As we would come back home, had a dad who raised us 6 siblings. Well, one, I have a stepsister, 7 siblings, but 6 actually grew up in the house all along. And I always grew up in a house with extended family members. And I wouldn't say, I would consider us very, very blessed, because we never lacked meals in the house. We never lacked shelter. My dad used to be the chief accountant. My dad used to be the chief accountant for ASECNA, the security company for the airport. So pretty much, he offered what he could at that for his level at that, but but I knew growing up that life is not only about you. Life is never going to be always about you. And my own life challenges propelled this even further when I had to get married quite early. By 21, I was already married. By 23, I already had my kids, and then the marriage went sour. So that even birthed a charity, that even birthed more compassion, more purpose, and just birthed what we see today, really.
Okay, so you to the stand, what was it like your first few years in the States? Was it
Well,
easy?
fortunately for
Was
me,
it difficult?
I have been a lucky child, like I will call myself. I came here on a diversity visa. So I came here with papers, I came here, equipped to get into the system. So I didn't face the hardness that everybody
Okay.
else faced. I had a chance to come here and go directly to school, get a job. So, just
Okay.
go through the normal of what, everybody would have gone through. When I came here, I did computers, finished computers, and picked up a job right at what? At 20, at that time in America, I used to work as a Microsoft systems engineer, making about $22 an hour. I thought I was on top of the world. At that age, bought my first house, bought my Toyota 4Runner, making $21 at that age at 21. That's pretty awesome. Somewhat 20 years
Yeah.
ago. Right. Yes. So
Yeah.
always still very, very ambitious. I think that's, I've always stayed ambitious, you know.
Okay. So
Yes.
why Dallas? Most people come to the East Coast. Why Dallas, Texas?
Well, because my aunt used to live in Dallas. My aunt lived here. So that was my
Okay.
host. That's who received me. So I had to come straight to Dallas too. And that's where I've lived in Dallas till date. And I'm only going to leave Dallas back for Africa. I'm not going to change it.
I don't know why anybody would choose Dallas in Texas when they're Houston. That's another story. I mean, if you're gonna live in Texas and there is Houston, why go to Dallas? I don't know. I don't know why that is, but that's
Well,
another
again, like
story.
I said, yeah, that's where my host was. And when you come to a strange land, that's where you just stay. Yeah.
Anyway, that's good. And let's talk about Cameroon. What about Cameroon that the rest of us don't know? Is still going on or not?
Yes, it is still going on. Cameroon is still very unstable as we speak. The crisis started 2017 when some group of lawyers just started a peaceful protest, and the protest got escalated. Some of them got arrested, and then the Amazonian crisis started. A lot of people wanted more reforms, needed more changes. Cameroon is a two-party kind of country where 80% of the population speaks French, which I do speak French as well, and 20% of the population speaks English. So again, but yeah, so that's
Okay.
that's 10 provinces. 10 provinces, 8 is English, 2 is French. I mean, 8 is French, 2 is English. And the 2 provinces who are the English provinces felt they've been very, very marginalized. The system doesn't really, it's not a bilingual country per se as they stipulate things. So French dominates pretty much. So the Anglophones, like they call themselves, got tired. All the reformist movements started gearing up and started protesting. And that protest, the peaceful protest led to the government retaliating. But then the government started retaliating with arms, had, the military move into the Anglophone zones, loads of killings. That led to, they call themselves Amazonians, that led to the Amazonians starting like an Amazonian defense force where they actually had, went head on with the military, gun exchange. I mean, almost a civil war as we speak. I mean, from 2017 till date, we've lost over 1 million people, and currently we have over 100,000 displaced in Nigeria as refugees. In Ghana, we have close to 1,000 displaced in Ghana as refugees.
So how come the world doesn't pay the same attention to Cameroon as it did in Rwanda, Sierra Leone, and Liberia? Is it not that
That's
serious?
a very good question. That's a very good question, and that has been the plight of of the Amazonian the Amazonian crisis. It's just to even get the UN to acknowledge the death rates, and the UN is aware of it, but again, the African Union is aware of it, but again, nothing concrete has been done. We don't know why, but this is there's been a lot of videos, articles, but again, the guys in America are struggling to lobby for the U.S. congressmen to say a word on this. It's a known issue, but just not enough action yet.
But do you think it'll get to the level where there's genocide?
Well, it's already at a genocide level as we speak. It's almost a genocide as we speak because villages have been deserted. I took a road trip from Cameroon to Nigeria by road one time just to get my personal experience, and villages have been deserted because the military would come into villages and kill. Every young man is a potential Amazonian recruit. So all the young guys are at risk. They get, either thrown to jail, they get arrested, loads and loads of human rights violations going on. And again, it's a really, really sad and I think situation where the government doesn't, they held a dialogue. It got to a point where it got really bad and the UN put pressure on the government to hold a peaceful dialogue with the Amazonian forces. But again, they held a dialogue and the key stakers of the Amazonian force were not even part of that dialogue. So I don't know how you hold a dialogue without the opposite party.
Okay, so let me ask you, I know you're more into the humanitarian aspect of this problem, but if I may ask you, what do you think of President Paul Biya personally?
Well, personally, I just think at this point, nobody should be in power for 38 plus years. I don't understand why anybody would be in power that long. The average constitution in every democratic country is 2-year term. So I don't understand why at over 70 plus, I don't know how old you are, he is, but at that age, hand the baton over. Let somebody else come. Let new energy come. Let new, just hand it over, just for a newer innovation, a newer energy, to get some reforms done for the country because it's already a deja vu. You've been in there for too long. Too long.
Okay.
Absolutely too long.
Do you think a new phase would bring about some hope between the warring parties?
At this point, we just need something new. Hope or no hope, at least something new is going to be encouraging because he's been
would that stop the fighting? Would that stop the fighting?
Well, I believe that if somebody new is coming, he's coming with a reform mind. If somebody new is coming, he's coming for a change, for the better. At this point, I just believe that anybody who is a leader will be a lover of the people. That's your first mandate. Those people voted you to be in there. You're there. The government is for the people, by the people. You're there to serve people. So any leader who doesn't love his masses, who doesn't love his citizens, is not even qualified to stay in power. And if your citizens are dying by the number, are dying as chicken, your own government, the military who's supposed to protect its citizens, is killing them like chicken, then I don't know where that nation is going to. And it's
all right.
I may say,
so
and you want to come after me. I am a humanitarian, but the issue while we are, as a humanitarian, we're burdened because the underlying problem has to be solved so we can have a break. As long as the war is ongoing, then the humanitarian crisis is ongoing as well.
Okay. With already friction going on between the Anglophone and the Francophone, do you ever see the possibility of someone from the Anglophone side becoming president of all of Cameroon?
Well, that's far-fetched, very far-fetched.
Okay.
I don't see it coming.
Right.
No.
Very good. Let's talk about your initiative. Okay. Let's talk about your initiative because, like you rightfully said, the part about the politics, you cannot control much about that, even though you acknowledge that that's what creates the humanitarian crisis. So, talk to us about the Berlinda Babila Foundation, BBF, right? What is
Yes,
it
BBF.
about?
Well, BBF is just, I just call ourselves, Mr. Germain, I just call ourselves a problem solving agency. We just, the problems that the government cannot solve. And the problems, the government will never solve all problems. So express the social aspect of problems. So what BBF just does is goes into the communities and just try and give a helping hand to the social problems that the government is ignoring, isn't paying attention, and just want to bring highlights that, hey, Mr. Government, there's a problem here. We're trying to do something about it. So I call also that little reminder, that little, reminder agency to create the consciousness, to wake up the awareness of the government for its people. So we're just out there to just salvage humanity, just add value to human life in our own small capacity. That's a summary of how I would put it.
We saw some videos. The beneficiaries, they had some very, very complimentary things to say about you.
Well, I guess I've been doing this work for the past 4 years relentlessly, funds or no funds, and I don't really wait to have thousands to initiate any program. I had my last fundraiser, which I was graced by your, presence, and in November, and that's the same, that's the funds that were allocated. That's the only fund that we've allocated for the entire year. But what we do is we're very, very resourceful. I work with a very, very resourceful team where we can take $1 and split it around 10 people, just so that it goes around. So it's more of, I believe it's the compassion that we have for everyone, the empathy that we understand what they're going through, and the small that we have, we try to make it go around. If nothing is too small, you just turn, he fed 5,000 with 2 loaves of bread and 5 fishes. So again, that's the module that we use. Is we're taking the small that we have, we try and leverage on it, trying to expand it, and then hopefully we pray that well-wishers, other stronger forces can partner with us, because if we do have the resources, the capacity, we will do more. The capacity building will be more. But again, I don't want to just wait there and wait to have millions, wait to have thousands before we get programs going. No, every little program that's in our agenda or our plan, go ahead. Sometimes I put up programs without even knowing where $1 is going to come from. But again, I'm like, hey, just keep it moving. If it comes, good. If it doesn't come, then again, we try. So I have that mentality of giving my best. Giving my best and giving my best, and that's all I think. And you imagine how I met you in Houston. That same giving my best mentality, just going out and just going all out pretty much with the small that we have. So I guess that's the impact that's being felt by many.
Would you buy anything without first knowing exactly what the product was and how it could benefit you? Definitely not. Neither should you vote for your next member of parliament without knowing who they are and how they plan to solve your problems. Watch The Next MP only on Diaspora Network Television and find out the men and women who want to represent you in parliament. The Next MP only on DNT.
We wake up every morning to different stories from politics, business, sports, and entertainment. These stories, one way or the other, affect our lifestyle and dealings with family, friends, and business associates. Your take on Diaspora Network Television gives you an opportunity to have your take on these pertinent issues via phone in and messages to our social media platforms, DNT Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If it's an important trending story, we will definitely talk about it. Your take with me, Yalsichi, on DNT.
So, do you spread your humanitarian initiatives to beneficiaries inside Cameroon or those who have fled to Nigeria?
Actually, we have three categories of people right now that we work with as we speak. We have the IDPs, the internally displaced persons, who have been displaced from their villages and they're in another city. They left the Northwest and the Southwest, which are the crisis-prone areas, and they flee to the French area. So we have those in Douala that we manage, you know, and then we have the refugees obviously in Nigeria that we've been with them since 2018. And then we just have, you know, we just opened our Ghana office, but when I was there in Ghana, this December 18th, the Ghana office got launched. And in Ghana, there's over 1,000 plus refugees out there. But again, the initiative is that wherever we are, we deal with the vulnerables. In any country where BBF is established, which currently we're, you know, under the accent of the Ghanaian laws, we're registered in Ghana, registered in Nigeria, registered in Cameroon, and the headquarters in Dallas. We do programs per the communities that we're in. You know what I mean? Yes, the refugee right now, it's a priority because of the risk of the lack of funding, but we just did like the widow program, which is comprised of the Ghanaian widows. You don't have to be a refugee to, you know, sometimes we have programs and we like the World Environmental Day, we had to go in there and clean the environment of Ghana. That's contributing to Ghana's, you know, the community and, just be a nation builder in our own capacity. So again, wherever we are, you know, we may have core focuses, but it's not going to stop us from always giving back to the community where we're from or where we're in at that particular time.
And you just launched a program for widows?
Well, widows have always been in my niche. I always have a widow empowerment, but I just extended to Ghana this season. You know, but from Cameroon, I have stable widows that I follow, about 50 to 100 of them that we did empowerment. Some of them have gone through vocational trainings. Now they have their self-sustainable jobs, hairdressing, whatever it is that were their heart desire. Some of them we did small microloans, so that's small business. Just a little bit of empowerment, just to add value and to get somebody from a point A to a point B. That way you know that, okay, I came into your life, there's been some transformation. You know, I mean, that's really every area where we go into, I have to see, we came in here, you were at A, by the time we're leaving, we need you to be at B or C. So that's always my goal.
That's what I wanted to ask. How do you measure success in what you're doing?
We measure success because we do a pre-evaluation, we do an intermediate, and then we do a post-eval. So for the most part, when we met you, you were depressed, you were lonely, you were this, you were this. Intermediately, we get you to where we get your emotional state back up, because you need to get the right mindset to be able to do anything. Without the right mindset, you cannot even decide if you want to move forward. So I do have empowerment conferences too for these widows where, you know, with COVID-19, now we have to go virtual, but we used to do conference at least twice a year, where I bring all of them and, you know, I speak into their mind, because again, it's about physiology. If the mind is not up to par, if the mind is not on a positive mental energy, then the body cannot be able to do anything. So we get them to that level, we get them hyped up, motivated, inspired, uplifted, and then they have the courage to get out that depression, that loneliness, and then now they're ready to embrace their new selves. They're ready to get into the mood of wanting to be that which God wanted them to be. So pretty much that's just the module I use.
Either you have a very deep pocket, or shall I say a very nice bank account, or you're working with some, or you're working with some pretty good sponsors. How do you get your money? How do you fund all this?
Again, you'll be very, very shocked. Well, 2018, 2019, I dedicated all my earnings, and which you did that for your TV station. Again, when you are the visionary, trust me, when God lays something in your heart to do, trust me, you have no peace until it's done. Same story here. You know, when I got this whole started in 2017, and which I've been doing charity work since 2000, but then I got it officialized 2017, and it's been to get it put together, to get it structured. Yes, you do spend almost all your entire money. I had to go meet my parents and beg them and plead with them that please don't look at me like I'm crazy. It's just something that I believe it's my purpose, and this is what I have. I found myself, and this is how I want to, be a blessing to humanity. So please, my mother and my father, I'm begging of you, just bless me. Just stand with me this season. it's going to be a time when, there's going to be rewards for everything that you do. But for right now, I am putting this thing together. This is what I call it my baby, my heartbeat. Just support me as a father, support me as a mother. And please just let me do this, because I've run away from this for too long. See, I got BBF registered in Dallas in 2010, Mr. Germain, but it took me, 7 years later, 2017, to get it kicked off.
Okay.
So
if we went to sleep one day and the war in Cameroon has stopped, all the humanitarian crisis gone, what next for BBF?
Well, BBF is going to stay. It's never going to go away. Never, because it's always going to be crisis. It's not only about BBF. There's always going to be problems in the world. BBF will be there to empower, educate, touch lives. So it has come to stay. Hopefully, I hope that my kids will take over this legacy, but it's not going anywhere, because, again, these are processes that have to be ongoing. BBF is a lifestyle. It's not a 1 day, 2 day. It's a lifestyle. So it's that's going on every day till I know the next would always continue with it, because, again, it's like you saying church would close one day. Church can never close. It's a support system. So BBF is a support system to the vulnerables, and you name it. So it will stay.
Okay. So what have been your frustrations, your low points thus far? What has been the thing that have really got to you?
Well, the suffering is really, really, once you're in a humanitarian world, then you begin to appreciate every and absolutely everything that you have. And you begin to see how blessed, because those people, some of them are in there, they did not really do anything, they found themselves in there. Then you begin to see how blessed, how you are compared to others, because the abject suffering, abject poverty that you see other people going through. Then you look at your life every day, and every day I wake up with a spirit of gratitude. I may not pray, even if I don't pray, I say one word: Lord, I'm grateful. Lord, I'm grateful. Lord, every day of my life, once I wake up, once I'm able to wake up, the first word that comes is, Lord, I'm grateful, because I see what other people go through, and yet they still have the capacity to smile. They still have so much pain turns you into a bitter machine, into an angry machine, into a frustrated machine. Yet these persons have to find a way daily to stay positive, to say, to stay joyous. Trust me, it's easier said than done. Trust me. I can imagine.
What about the successes?
I'm sorry?
What about the successes? Things that make you smile about what you're doing.
Absolutely, like the testimonies that you said, the ladies, they're giving their testimony. And I think what makes me smile every day is knowing that every day we're able to add value to get somebody from a depressed state to a hopeful stage. That's, to me, that's a fulfillment about all this work, is you're able to be that lifesaver in a capacity where you're able to get somebody off a suicidal, mode, depressive mode, anxious mode, lonely mode, you name all the disempowering things that you can think about, and then you're able to get them into an empowering state. To me, there's no greater reward than this.
Logistically, when you get stuff on the ground in Cameroon, how easy or difficult is it to get the product to their destination where you need them the most?
Well, most of my products most of everything that we do are gotten locally. I don't really import anything, because nobody even has that extra budget.
So you send resources?
Yes.
So you send resources,
localized resources
locally.
Yes. So hopefully we're working on. That's why if we have companies that can donate, hopefully with the COVID-19 and all, we'll try. The economy is kind of down right now. Things are quite tough. So if I have a good donation from here, I would ship it over. We did do a shipment once to Nigeria, because I had some medical donations from some doctors from Virginia, and I was able to ship a whole 40 foot of medical supplies that were able to go to because there's a refugee camp in Nigeria currently under by the UN, the UNHCR, that housed about 25,000 Cameroonians. So I was able to go set up I was able to set up an emergency clinic with all the supplies that we had. And then that season, I was able to give a lot of other things that we had for the over 15,000 people that were there. Then that was 2018. So at least, we have a clinic that's, a little emergency clinic being set up there by BBF, and that's serving the 25,000 people currently. So again, if I have resources from the state, which I will start tapping into all of those so that I can ship some to Ghana, ship some to Cameroon, ship some to Nigeria, and then see how we can offer help. But at this point in time, what we're doing big is we're doing a lot of empowerment and training. We want to get them to where everyone is getting self-sustainable. We just did the widows, and in Cameroon, the widows outreach, we train the widows on how to make local hand sanitizers, because that's a high demand product right now. So we train them on this, how to produce localized hand sanitizers, so that can become a little scale business that they can start earning, and then be able to sustain their families with. So that's where I am at this level. It's more empowerment training, skill acquisition workshops, so that people can be better equipped to be able to help them themselves.
All right. How cooperative has the government been to your organization, or do you work hand in hand with them, or do you work?
No, we don't. No, the last time I was there, I actually went to reach out to them and submitted a proposal and listen, these are your citizens. This is their right that you guys support them, but I've never heard back from them. So again, nope, I have absolutely no partnership with them, and I've had absolutely no support from the government. I've not even had $1 from the government to fund any of our.
Let's talk about 19. Yeah, has COVID-19 made any difference in your operations? Has it made things difficult? Or?
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Donors are not viable right now. The economy is down. People are losing a lot of money from, a lot of, so again, the donor potentiality is even individuals who do donate, they've lost jobs. The entire world is under, a recession as we speak. So that would affect everybody, because the more people are viable, then they can support better. The more companies are earning or are, having profits, then they can support under their charitable wing. But when it's otherwise, then it halts us. Mind you, charity organizations feed off of people's donation. That's what they use to establish their projects and programs. So with the recession, with COVID-19 pandemic, that slows down. But again, like I said, we can't stop because somebody else is stopping. So again, as to continue small scale though, that we still push, even if at this point, even if it's only the educational part, at this point we've had to restructurize to do more of teaching education as opposed to actual outreaches, because outreaches are expensive.
As the national regulator of the communications industry in Ghana, the National Communications Authority seeks to ensure an environment that is safe and fair for consumers and service providers. NCA grants licenses and authorizations for operation of communication systems and services, develops guidelines to streamline communication activities, establish and monitor quality of service indicators for operators and service providers. NCA is in 8 regions: Accra, Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, Ho, Koforidua, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Do you have unresolved complaints with your service providers? Contact us on 0800110662, 0307011419 between the hours of 8 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. from Monday to Friday, or visit our website at www.nca.org.gh and follow the procedure for filing a complaint or submitting enquiry. National Communications Authority, communications for development.
We wake up every morning to different stories from politics, business, sports, and entertainment. These stories, one way or the other, affect our lifestyle and dealings with family, friends, and business associates. Your take on Diaspora Network Television gives you an opportunity to have your take on these pertinent issues via phone in and messages to our social media platforms, DNT Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If it's an important trending story, we will definitely talk about it. Your take with me, Yalsichi, on DNT.
Would you buy anything without first knowing exactly what the product was and how it could benefit you? Definitely not. Neither should you vote for your next member of parliament without knowing who they are and how they plan to solve your problems. Watch The Next MP only on Diaspora Network Television and find out the men and women who want to represent you in parliament. The Next MP only on DNT.
Talk to me about the African diaspora. Are we doing enough for the continent?
No, we're not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What more,
not
what
at all.
more can we do? What more can we do?
Well, I think there's a factor of fear. The African diasporans are afraid, and I don't blame them because nobody wants to go into anything uncertain. Just the general fear attribute. What I mean is, like, I can bet you every African in overseas, in America or in Cameroon, would want to go back and settle back home. That's going to be their dream. Ask them, oh, I'm tired of this place, I want to go back home. But then there's that fear factor, the factor of uncertainty, where, okay, what am I going back home to do?
What is the fear about?
Well, I mean, you're living, okay, you're living like, not everybody will do what you do. You're living, let's quote unquote, a more stable economy to go dive into. I'm talking about, like, you know, Africans in the diaspora who are maybe thinking about migrating back home. You know, you're living a very stable economy, and then to go into an African economy where you're not very certain of what you're going into. So what I'm trying to just say is that I know for a fact that more Africans would want to leave back home, but then the mechanisms are not put in place yet for them to be able to match the kind of lifestyle they live here.
Well, some will say we should be part of the building. We cannot stay away, let others do the work, and then when it's all done, then we come in and settle. That's not fair to those who
and that's why I say we're not doing anything at all. Mind you, we have a crisis right now in our own country, Cameroon. Okay. This is supposed to be a problem that every Cameroonian should be a part of. Every Cameroonian from the English zone should be a partaker of sponsoring, even if it's $1 every month, $5. Make sure that you're chipping in $1, $5 into funds that go to sustain others who at this point got evicted by the circumstances of war, are in a strange land, have no idea where the next meal is going to come from. They did not bargain for that. The circumstances threw them out. So at this point, it's supposed to be everybody's concern. It's not supposed to be just BBF's concern. And that's why I tell people, giving to BBF, you're not doing us any favor. You are just part of the problem-solving community. You're joining the problem solvers to make this nation, which you're part of, a better place, and to elevate the suffering that the war or the crisis is causing to a whole bunch of other people. So until they get this mentality, because I mean, naturally Africans were not trained in giving. Africans are not trained in giving. Right. That's a white man's mentality.
When I came to your event in Dallas, it was a event for the Cameroonian community. What was your impression about the size of the Cameroonian community in Dallas relative to the others? Were you satisfied?
Oh, well, actually, not at all, because that day we had like 3 events. We have 3 different events, and we have 3 different events that day. And again, I'm going to throw back to this same concept of it's a mentality thing. People would come in there and think that they're coming to make Berlinda rich. Yet, they're seeing all the activities that the foundation is doing. Why don't you yourself, where does the money come from for all these activities? So the average Cameroonian mindset would say, oh, no. She wants to collect our money. I'm not going there. Why would I go give my money? But yet, to see the work that you do, but because they've not yet evolved. You got to grow above yourself and then start thinking beyond the limiting thinking that the average person will think. For you to be able to give to somebody that you actually have no idea who they are, Mr. Germain, you have to have a mindset change. You have to be selfless.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the results that I've seen in your activities, your foundation. That's why I extended the invitation for the interview, because the results are there. So what is it about the African such that in spite of the evidence of the result, they still have this tentative thing about, oh, he's going to take our money? And why wouldn't it? It seemed to me that the results should encourage people to give more. Is that happening?
Absolutely. And it's because you're from a different school of thought, Mr. Germain. That's why I keep saying it's all about the mindset. Until you get your mindset to a level of understanding that you have to decide to start living purposefully. And that's what I tell everybody. You could have $1 million, but if you've not decided to be purposeful, you will never give somebody $1 out of it. It's just deciding to be at this level. I want to grow. I want to give. I want to grow. I want to give, because you're making money to be able to solve other things. Yes, you have your immediate problems, but your problems will always be there. And sometimes solving other people's problem, the force of nature would solve yours somehow. So you just have to be at a different dimension of your mindset and your thinking to understand that. Listen,
okay. So when you look at the Cameroonian diaspora, right, in the United States, England, other parts of Europe, China, do you see them actively involved in trying to solve the quagmire in Cameroon, or have they pretty much given up?
Yes, they've tried, but I think they're getting into the burnout stage. This has been going on for 3 years, remember? Okay. So there's been donor fatigue, there's been exertion of energy, people are getting, but again, I believe that whenever you believe in something, when you have absolute belief, absolute certainty in whatever you stand for, you're renewed every day. No matter the odds, no matter the challenge, you wake up every day, Mr. Germain, and you come to your TV station because you believe in this. This is what you vouch for. You have absolute. So I go back, 80% is physiology, your mindset. What are you saying about what it is that you're doing? Because I will do this in my sleep because it's already been programmed in my mind that, yes, Berlinda, this is what you're set to do. I have a clothing line. I run a group home. I do all of my activities, but the charity is my first service. It's my first service to humanity. And then everything else falls in place.
Okay. So let's look at Pan-Africanism. You're from Cameroon. I'm from Ghana. When we met in Houston, it was a very comfortable. There wasn't anything about borders or you're from here, and you flowed very well into the Ghanaian community, the Ghanaian delegation. When you came to Ghana, you felt very comfortable. So
I love Ghana. Ghana is my second home.
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about Africa uniting. Do you think we will ever see that in our lifetime?
That's going to be hard. I mean, we may not see that in our lifetime, but we need to have better relational, treaties. I'll put it that way. But as far as Africa becoming one nation, I mean, I don't see us coming together as one nation because everybody's going to want to fight for what they built all these years. But all what I would wish is that we have better treaties, allies between the different African nations, stronger allies. Just stronger allies to make for us to interact better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The regional organizations seem to be a first step. You have ECOWAS, you have the Southern African group, and then Eastern African Central African, and then the Northern African. At the very least, we could be 5 units within this continent as a first step. What do you see that as feasible?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Lately, there's been a lot of talk about police brutality and what's happening to Black people all around the world. What do you think? What are your thoughts on those?
Well, to everything, there has to be some kind of stop to it. We all know that, the Blacks here are somehow marginalized. We all know that, the black child has to grow up and you're already growing up with a perception that you're a nobody. So you got to fight through a system that's really labeled you. So I know it's quite challenging, but then the police too weren't helping it because of the fact that every Black person is somehow categorized, which is a bad thing. So I'm happy. What's going on is going to create an awareness for them to understand that somebody can be Black, but they still have their human rights to be respected. They're still valuable. There's, I think, the police should.
I want to take you down. I want to take you down a certain road. Okay.
Okay.
There are those who say that the way we handle ourselves is the reason why other people treat us the way they do.
Absolutely.
If we don't treat our own right, how do we expect other people to treat us right?
Said it all. You said it all. That's right, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So are we good enough?
And again, everybody is good enough. It just depends on how you. Everybody has greatness in them. Let me put it that way. Now it depends on what are you willing to sacrifice for your greatness to come forth. Everybody wants money.
What's great? Let me ask you, what is great? Is it individual, academic skills? What is great? Because at the end of the day,
yes.
At the end of the day,
go ahead.
You have to show the result. You, Berlinda, you're smart and everything. You've attained a doctorate degree. Let's say me, I have my own. You have people who are individually very accomplished. But for whatever reason, we haven't been able to put it together. And at the end of the day, isn't that where the greatness is? What good is it if we are all individually good, but as a collective unit, we suck?
That's true. But that's why we all need to come together. Let's come together. Together we can. Together we're stronger. Together we're better. Let's come together and do more together. I think what has killed us as Africans is the me mentality. It's the me all the time. And that's why I don't do things with the me thing. All the campaigns that you see happening these days, I have coordinators in all locations. I give everybody the privilege to come and showcase yourself. All what I'm doing is I am just your coordinator, but I give you that opportunity to come out. I encourage you. I uplift you. Come and showcase yourself and come. There's something in you that you can give. I believe what's going on in our communities, nobody even wants to encourage you. That me mentality, that me thing. We have people who've gone ahead of us. And they're not even out there. I was just telling my sisters today that I'm going to start a comeback challenge for the youth. I want to just do something for the youth. COVID-19 has been a very depressive moment where people's energies are low, their vibrations are low, their momentum is low. So I want to do a comeback challenge where for 7 days, 1 hour a day, I want to get people as much as possible for us to come together, share our stories, and then give them some uplifting tools to get people again, because the truth is that the only way you get work done is the state of your mind. Your mind has to be at a peak state at all times for you to be able to even decide rightly. And if for some reason you let that peak state drop, that's it. That's it. You cannot produce results. You can only produce results once you're staying at that peak state of your mind, and every day you're doing something towards your, the bigger goal, just that small activity every day, but every day it adds up. Before you know it, bam, you see the results that you see. BBF has gotten to where it's gotten to is continuous work. Every day for the past almost 4 years now, every day, a little bit of work every day. And I just keep myself in that high peak state. Because I know that is the only way I can be able to. That's why you called me yesterday and say, but you got ready for an interview. I say yes. I would never say no. Absolutely. Yes, it's the word I have.
Absolutely.
Just always ready for what's coming next. Always ready.
So talking about getting the word out, how do people reach you?
Well, we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we are on a website. So we're everywhere. What's
the web address?
Pretty much. Okay, the web address is www.healtheworld. Your technicians might have to write it out. So it's healtheworldafrica.com. Heal the World Africa with a K. Yeah, and then on Facebook, it's just Berlinda Babila Foundation, YouTube Berlinda Babila Foundation, Twitter Berlinda Babila Foundation, and then Instagram Berlinda Babila Foundation. That's
very good.
That's how we
listen. The refugees in Cameroon and in Nigeria and in Ghana, they really appreciate you. I've seen the videos because we showed them throughout this broadcast. And I want to tell you personally, you're doing great. And I wish a lot of Africans in the diaspora would do the same. So Dr. Berlinda Babila, founder and CEO of Berlinda Babila Foundation, thank you for joining Diaspora Weekly. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Germain. I'm very honored and privileged. And God bless Ghana, my lovely second country. I love you all. Thanks for the awesome job you're doing. Stay encouraged. I was gonna say, how do you say hi in Ghana? How do you say bye again in Ghana? I forgot. Oh my God. How do you say bye?
Hi and bye are universal, but when you want to ask somebody like what's up, it's to say.
Yeah, it's to say. That's what I was looking for. Sorry,
right.
I need that by now.
Bye is pretty much it. But before you go, what day of the week were you born? Do you know?
I was born on a Sunday. So my name is what's that Ghanaian name again? I should know my name.
Akosia.
That's my name. Akosia, yes. Akosia. So now we all know it's official. My Ghanaian family, my name is Akosia.
Very good. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Germain. I'm honored, sir. Good chatting with you always, sir. Very, very elated. God bless you, sir, and great works. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings.